Are you wondering what the presidential election effect will have on the housing market? Well, you come to the right place because we're going to cover that today. Presidential election years can have an indirect impact on the housing market, including home values and of course sales. While the effects are often subtle and can vary by market, several factors do come into play, and we're going to cover those today. But before I get started, let me introduce myself and our team. First of all, we want to thank you for coming on to our channel. We are so glad that you're here. My name is Kirsten Powell, and together with my husband Rick and daughter Kaitlin, we own and operate the Powell Group, and we're located here in Boise, which is in the Treasure Valley of Idaho. We've been helping buyers, sellers, and investors meet their real estate goals for the last 20 plus years. And we are so happy that you found us and would love for you to come back for more. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so when we do post new videos, you'll be the first to be notified. So let's get started. Number one is economic uncertainty. Election years can certainly create a sense of uncertainty among buyers and sellers, so the consumer confidence can take somewhat of a hit. People delay making large financial decisions such as buying or selling a home, and it's typically due to concerns about potential changes in economic policies, taxes, or even housing regulations under a new administration. And of course, investors, well, those that invest in real estate, they might adopt a wait-and-see approach, and that will of course lead to a slowdown in transactions, so we might see home hesitation in this area of real estate as well. Number two is going to be interest rates. The Federal Reserve typically aims to maintain stability during election years, and there's often less likelihood of major changes in interest rates. However, this can change based on economic conditions and the perceived economic outlook of each candidate. Low interest rates often support home buying activity, while any fears of rate increases under a new administration could push buyers to act before the election. The Fed recently gave us the largest cut in interest rates with a 50 basis point cut. However, it has not yet translated into that 50 basis point cut in the mortgage rates. But will more cuts be coming? Well, one can only hope, as the rates have definitely slowed the real estate market. And number three is going to be policy uncertainty. Elections bring potential changes in tax policies such as deduction for mortgage interest, capital gains taxes, and property tax limits. Any proposed policy changes can have an influence on home values and of course the market activity, as buyers and sellers, well, they try to predict how a new administration might impact the housing market. Candidates often propose changes to affordable housing programs and of course incentives for first-time home buyers or mortgage reform, which can influence buyer sentiment and demand. However, remember that these incentives, they are proposed and they always come with a cost. So make sure you don't get swayed about promises that may or may not come to fruition. Number four is going to be the market slowdowns and of course seasonality. We're coming into the fall, and in some markets, activity tends to slow down in the months leading up to a presidential election, as both buyers and sellers wait for the outcome. However, once the elections passes and the uncertainty has been diminished a bit, activity may pick back up, and of course leading to a rebound in transactions and potentially home prices. We have buyers who have actually told us that they're putting their plans on purchasing a home on hold because they want to wait to see what the election will bring. After the election, if uncertainty dissipates and policies are clarified, buyers and sellers may feel more confident, and that of course will be leading to increased activity in the housing market. So we are all waiting patiently to see what real estate will look like in November. Number five is the regional and local effects. Well, of course, here in Boise, things may be looking a little different than in Florida. In addition to the presidential race, there are going to be state and local elections that can have a direct impact on the housing market, particularly where local regulations, taxes, or zoning laws are going to be on the ballot. The market in regions where one political party has a strong influence may also react differently based on which candidate ends up winning. For instance, if you are in a coastal urban market, it might respond differently to a conservative president than a rural market might be to a liberal one. Number six is going to be historical trends. So we like to always look at trends. Historically, Election years tend to see a slight slowdown in real estate activity in the months leading up to the November election, and of course with a corresponding pickup in activity afterwards. However, the overall effect is usually temporary, but with most markets stabilizing soon after the election. So while presidential elections can bring uncertainty that impacts short-term market dynamics, the long-term effect on the real estate market and of course home values and sales are usually minimal, unless of course it's accompanied by a significant policy change affecting the housing finance market, taxes, or regulation. The extent of impact can also vary depending on your local market conditions and of course the broader economic climate. If you want to dive a little deeper into the historical trends, make sure you let us know and we'll be happy to jump on a call with you to discuss all the trends with you. Are you ready for buying or selling a home? Well, you have come to the right place. We would love to schedule a time for your seller or buyer strategy session to help you determine whether now is a good time for you to either buy or sell a home. Make sure you give us a call today or send us a message, and that way we can connect and get you set up for your seller or buyer strategy session. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like and of course subscribe for more real estate updates and of course tips for navigating the Boise market. See you next time.